Looking for a destination in Greece that combines stunning landscapes, deep history, and zero crowds? Forget the usual tourist trail, because just a few hours from Athens lies a place where Byzantine emperors once ruled and legendary warriors trained. In this video, I'll take you through Mystras and Sparta, two hidden treasures in the Peloponnese that are often overlooked but offer some of the most authentic and unforgettable experiences in the country. From majestic monasteries to ancient battlefields, you will learn exactly what to see, where to go, and how to make the most of your visit. Let's start with Mystras. It's a UNESCO World Heritage Site perched on the slopes of Mount Taygetus and once played a huge role in the final centuries of the Byzantine Empire. Walking through Mystras feels like stepping into a storybook where emperors were crowned, monks prayed, and artists left behind masterpieces of ancient walls. One of the first places you will come across is the Despot's Palace. This was the administrative heart of Mystras, and even though parts of it are under restoration, we can still imagine the grandeur it once held. Just below the palace is the Cathedral of Agios Dimitrios. It's not just another old church, it's where Constantine XI, the last Byzantine emperor, was crowned. Inside, the frescoes are incredible, and tucked within the same complex is the small archaeological museum of Mystras. It's not a huge museum, but it's packed with treasures, icons, sculptures, everyday objects that bring this forgotten city back to life. As you keep wandering, you will come across the Church of Hagia Sophia. It's elegant and peaceful, and was once part of the palace complex. It has this quiet charm, and from its courtyard, the view just opens up beautifully. Then there is the Church of Agi Theodori. This one is really photogenic, especially the dome inside. It has some of the most striking frescoes in the whole site and this beautiful sense of symmetry. Further down the path, you will find the Church of Panagia Odigitria. The architecture is classic Byzantine, and if you step inside, there are these small chapels and corridors that make it feel almost like a maze. One of my personal favorites is the Church of Panagia Padanassa. It's the only monastery still active in Mystras, home to a few nuns. It feels alive, serene, full of flowers, and when you step inside, the spiritual energy is so present. Before or after Padanassa, take a short detour to see the Church of Agios Nikolaos. It's smaller and tucked away from the main path, so a lot of visitors miss it. But it has the quiet charm and some beautiful architectural details. It's one of those little surprises that make wandering around Mystras so rewarding. And of course, if you're feeling adventurous, make your way all the way to the top to the fortress. The hike can be a bit challenging, but the views from up there, just breathtaking. You can see all of Mystras beneath you, and beyond that, Sparta, the olive groves, and the mountains stretching in every direction. After exploring Mystras, head just a few kilometers down the road to Sparta. Now, this isn't the kind of place with towering ruins like in Athens, but what it offers is something more subtle and more legendary. A good place to start in Sparta is the statue of King Leonidas. It's located right in front of the modern stadium and is hard to miss. If you are driving, there is convenient parking nearby. The statue is an ideal photo stop, especially for fans of history and film. Once you've seen the statue, head over to the nearby archaeological site of ancient Sparta. It's just a short walk away. The ruins are spread out, so it helps to have a rough idea of where you are going. You will pass through olive groves and open paths before reaching the site. It's quiet, peaceful, and not overly developed, which adds to the charm. Start with the ancient theatre. While only part of it has been excavated, standing on its worn steps gives you a real sense of how large and ambitious public life in Sparta was. From there, you can explore the remains of temples, civic buildings, and parts of the ancient agora. The site isn't crowded or overly touristy, so take your time to walk, pause, and imagine what life might have looked like here. You won't find signs everywhere, so if you're into history, consider reading up a little beforehand or bringing a guidebook. It's not a polished experience, and that's what makes it special. Now, if you want to understand more of what you're seeing, head over to the Archaeological Museum. It might be small, but it's dense with artifacts that bring the ancient world closer. Statues, pottery, inscriptions, and some beautifully preserved pieces from local sanctuaries. It adds layers to what otherwise might just look like scattered stones. Before leaving the historical center, make sure to visit the tomb of Leonidas. It's located just a short walk from the main street, and it's easy to miss if you don't know it's there. What you will see is a modest archaeological site, a low stone structure not heavily reconstructed, but it's believed to be the actual resting place of the legendary Spartan king. One of my favorite stops in modern Sparta is the Museum of the Olive and Greek Olive Oil. It's such a pleasant surprise. You learn about how important olive oil was to ancient Greeks, not just in cooking, but in ritual, sports, even beauty. The exhibitions are well done, and there is something about seeing those ancient olive presses and tools that makes you appreciate every drop of olive oil to drizzle over your salad back home. And if you have time, walk around the modern town too. It has a different vibe from other Greek cities. It's more open, more laid back. You can find cafes full of locals, quiet streets with mountain views, and shops selling local products. So a few things to keep in mind before your trip. Mystras takes time. It's not a quick stop, so give yourself at least a few hours. If you want to climb all the way to the fortress and take your time exploring the churches, it's better to dedicate half a day or even more. Wear good shoes. Seriously, the paths are cobbled, sometimes steep, and a bit uneven in places. You will thank yourself for choosing comfort over style. It does get hot, especially in the summer. Some brick water, sunscreen, and a hat. There isn't a lot of shade, especially at the top. And in terms of getting there, renting a car is by far the easiest way. It gives you the freedom to explore both Mystras and Sparta at your own pace. The drive from Athens is about 2.5 to 3 hours, and it's a beautiful route once you hit the Peloponnese. Standing here with the wind coming off the mountains and the sound of birds echoing through centuries old stone, you can really feel the soul of this place. Mystras and Sparta aren't just places on the map. They are stories you can step into. They give you something that stays with you long after the trip is over. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like, share it with a friend who is dreaming of Greece, and don't forget to subscribe for more travel stories and hidden gems from around the country. Thanks for watching!